Now recording.
Okay. Good evening and welcome to the reorganization meeting for January 4th, 2021. At this time, I'd like to appoint a temporary chair. So can I make a motion to appoint a temporary chair? Do I have a second?
Second.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Supervisor DePiero. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, do I have a motion to appoint a second chair, a temporary chair? Somebody want to make a motion?
I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion to appoint you, Kevin.
Okay. Do I have any other motions? Do I have any other motions? Okay, I'd like to make a motion to close the temporary chair.
I'll second.
That motion.
Thank you, Supervisor DeSanto. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. All right, this time I'd like to open nominations to appoint a chair for the East Norton Board of Supervisors. Do I have a candidate?
I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to nominate Ashley DePiero.
Okay, Ashley DePiero. Ashley, do you accept?
I do.
Okay, do I have any other nominations? Do I have any other nominations? Okay, I'd like to make a motion to close nominations for the chair for Board of Supervisors. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Supervisor Gavanis. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Chairwoman DePiero, you can take the meeting over.
So first, thank you, board members, for nominating me as your chairwoman for East Norton. We can get started with roll call. Starting with Pete Pasquale, please.
Brandon Pasquale, Chief of Police.
Tim Sullivan, Director of Engineering Services.
Dave Chris, Director of Finance.
Jeff Winterbottom, Assistant Manager.
Bob Hart, Township Manager.
Rebecca Geiser from the Solicitor's Office. This is when I go now.
That is very good. Dennis DeSanto, Supervisor.
Joe Gavanis, Supervisor.
Kevin McDevitt, Supervisor.
Jamila Winder, Supervisor.
Ashley DePiero, Chair. Okay, so right now we have to make nominations for a Vice Chair. I'd like to open it up for any nominations.
I'd like to nominate Supervisor Gavanis for Vice Chair.
Okay, do I have, is that all the nominations? Okay, can I make a motion to close the nominations? Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, seconded by Supervisor Winder. Supervisor Gavanis, do you accept Vice Chair?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Can I make a motion to nominate Joe Gavanis as Vice Chair? Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Supervisor DeSanto. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, ayes have it. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you
Okay.
all.
Today, I'd like to also announce that we met in executive session prior to the evening's meeting to discuss litigation and personnel. At this point, I'd like to appoint Township Secretary or Township Manager. I would like to make a motion to nominate Robert Hart as Township Manager and Secretary. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, seconded by Supervisor DeSanto. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All those opposed? Ayes have it. Congratulations, Mr. Hart.
Thank you all.
Joe, would you like to do the next item?
Yes, I will. Next item is the appointment of operating officials for 2021. For Chief of Police, Brandon Pasquale. Finance Director and Treasurer David Christ, Interim Zoning Officer James Sullivan, and Alternate Zoning Officer Alan Booz. I'd like to accept a motion to approve those officials as the operating officials in the township for 2021.
I'll put that in the form of a motion.
Thank you, Supervisor DeSanto.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Chairwoman DePiero. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Excellent.
Congratulations to our our current and future operating officials.
Thank you. Item number 7, resolution number 2824, appointment of township auditor. I would like to have Finance Director David Christ review this resolution, please.
Thank you, Chairwoman DePiero. Each year, the township appoints a CPA firm to audit the township financial records and our internal controls. Notice of the board's intent to do so was approved at the November 2020 Board of Supervisors meeting and duly advertised in the Times Herald on December 1st of 2020. The resolution before you, the resolution 2824, hereby appoints the certified public accounting firm of B. Bergvall and Company as the township auditor for the township of East Norton for the fiscal year 2021 and to audit the fiscal affairs of the township for fiscal year 2020. Their compensation is $14,000. I'd be glad to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions from the board?
No.
Excellent. I'd like to put this in a form of a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Excellent. Thank you, Supervisor McDevitt. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Item number 8, Mr. Gavanis.
Item number 8, the appointment of township consultants. I'll go through the list and then we'll ask for a motion to approve these in one fell swoop. For township solicitor, Kilkenny Law. Special legal counsel, Rudolph Clark. Consulting engineer, Remington and Vernick Engineers. Sanitary sewer consulting engineer, Carroll Engineering Corporation. Planner / traffic consultant, T&M Associates. Labor attorney, Obermeyer, Rebin, Maxwell and Hippel, LLP. And actuary, Conrad Siegel. I'd like to accept a motion to accept those appointments for township consultants for 2021.
I'll put that in the form of a motion.
Thank you, Supervisor DeSanto. Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Chairwoman DePiero. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, item number 9, East Norton Township Zoning Hearing Board. The set solicitor compensation rate. I'd like to make a motion for the compensation for the zoning hearing board solicitor at $180 per hour. Can I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, seconded by Supervisor Winder. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. Item number 10, Vice Chair Gavanis.
Okay, this is for an appointment of the Retirement Benefits Advisory Board. We are going to nominate to the board a member of the Board of Supervisors who will serve as chair of the Retirement Benefits Board. Also, the township manager who will serve as chief administrative officer of the pension funds. Also, the assistant township manager who will serve as secretary to the advisory board. And our finance director, David Christ, who will represent the non-uniformed employees, and Matt Brannon, who will represent the uniformed employees. So I will need a nomination for a supervisor to serve as chair of the Retirement Benefits Board.
I sit on the board. I sit on the board currently. I would be willing to serve another term.
Okay.
I can make a motion to nominate Supervisor DeSanto.
Thank you. Do I have a second for that?
I'll second that.
All right, thank you Supervisor McDevitt. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, Supervisor DeSanto is the board representative. So we'll need a motion now to accept the other members of the board. And I'll put that in the form of motion. Do I have a second?
So moved.
Thank you, Supervisor DeSanto. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries.
Item number 11, the appointment of open records officers. I'd like to make a motion to appoint Chief of Police as the open records officer for the police records and the township manager as the open records officer for all other record requests.
I'll
Do I have a
second that.
second? Okay, seconded by Supervisor McDevitt. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. Okay, Vice Chair Gavanis.
All right, we're on to item number 12, appointment of the Earned Income Tax Committee delegates. I will entertain a motion to appoint Finance Director David Chris as the primary voting delegate, Township Manager Robert Hart as the first alternate voting delegate, and Assistant Township Manager Jeff Winterbottom as the second alternate voting delegate. I'll put that in the form of motion. Do I have a second?
I can second that.
Thank you, Chairwoman DePiero.
That was Supervisor Winder.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see the box light up there. My mistake. Thank you, Supervisor Winder.
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
On to item 13, motion to fix the treasurer bond. I'd like to put a motion to fix the treasurer bond at $1 million. Can I?
I'll second.
Thank you, Supervisor DeSanto. All those in favor? Thank you.
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries.
Okay, moving on. Item number 14, designation of depositories. I want to make a motion that Bryn Mawr Trust, PLGIT, and TD Bank are eligible as the township depositories.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Supervisor McDevitt. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
So this item is to set regular and special meeting dates and holidays for 2021. A motion needs to be made for all of these regular and special meeting dates for the holidays of 2021. Attached is all of the dates for the calendar year of 2021 of holidays that will be observed by East Norton Township. Mr. Hart, you want me to go through each item?
You can refer anyone to the website where these will be listed, but at the very least, I think we should mention when the Board of Supervisors, Zoning Hearing Board, Planning Commission, and Historical Advisory Commission, the days they are on.
Okay. So during the 2021, the regular monthly meetings, the Board of Supervisor of East Norton Township will be held on the fourth Tuesday of the month, beginning at 7 p.m., except for the months of November and December, according to the following schedule. The regular monthly meetings will be held on Tuesday, February 23rd, 2021, Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021, Tuesday, April 27th, 2021, and so forth. Okay, the 2022 reorganization meeting will be held on Tuesday, January 4th, 2022. Special meetings of the Board of Supervisors of East Norton will be held on an as-needed basis and will be advertised separately. The Zoning Hearing Board will meet on the second Tuesday of each month at 7 p.m., except for the month of December, to be held on Tuesday, December 7th, 2021. The Planning Commission will meet on the third Wednesday of each month at 7 p.m. The Historical Advisory Commission will meet on the fourth Monday bi-monthly. Thank you. Bi-monthly, January through November, beginning at 6:30 p.m. All the above meetings will be held at East Narton Township Building or on Zoom. All of that will be provided on our lovely new website that can be found on eastnartontownship.org. Do I have a second for these meetings?
I'll second.
Thank you, Supervisor DeSanto. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, all those opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, resolution number 2825, Township Fee Schedule Affirmation. I'd like to call on our Township Manager, Mr. Hart, to review this resolution.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Gavanis. We, in the last several years, we have reviewed our fee schedule from top to bottom. We make changes throughout the year when we feel it's needed. We haven't made changes in several months. Tonight before you, we are not asking for any changes to it. We are still reviewing it, but we're asking just to affirm the current fee schedule that is on our website, and that we hope to use for the remainder for the entire 2021 year.
Any questions or comments from the board? Okay, hearing none, I will make a motion to approve the resolution 2825 that affirms the township fee schedule for 2021. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Supervisor Winder. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
This is to certify delegates to the PSAT's annual conference, if it is held this year. I'd like to make a motion to designate Supervisor or Vice Chair Joe Gavanis as the PSAT annual conference delegate,
Voting
Second
delegate.
that motion.
voting delegate, excuse me.
Thank you.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second that motion.
And Vice Supervisor McDevitt, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, Joe.
Okay, this is a big one here. Appointment of members to the following boards and commissions. We'll start with the vacancy board. Patricia Mark, a one-year term expiring on 12/31/2021. To the Planning Commission. These are four-year terms each expiring 12/31/2024. Keith Tornetta, Kenneth Grimes, and Candy Heckman. To the Traffic Advisory Committee. And it's a one-year term expiring 12/31/2021. Peter Consumano, John Freeman, James Serator, Anthony Termina, Joseph Tarantino, Keith Tornetta, and George Schools. To the Historical Advisory Commission, it's a five-year term expiring 12/31/2025. Michael Martinelli. To the Industrial Development Authority, five-year term, also expiring 12/31/2025. George Schools. And to the Human Relations Commission, we don't have anybody at this time, so we will not make an appointment. But that will be a three-year term, and that will be announced at the February Board of Supervisors meeting. I'll put that in a form of a motion to save somebody the trouble going through all that. And do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Chairwoman DePiero. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2826, East Narton Township Zoning Hearing Board. There's one member, and that's Anthony McCloy, to be reappointed for a three-year term that expires December 31st, 2023. Any questions or comments from the board? Okay, if not, I'd like to make a motion Anybody would like to second for a vote to approve resolution number 2826?
I'll second.
Okay, seconded by Vice Chair Joe Gavanis. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. Item number 20, Vice Chair Joe Gavanis.
Okay, item number 20, resolution number 2827, reaffirming a building code board of appeals. There are 3 members that are appointed for a 1-year term that expires December 31st, 2021. They are Michael McAndrew, Bill Hittman, and Stanley Siegel, and an alternate member, Nicholas Gambone. If there's no questions, I'll put that in the form of motion and ask for a second.
I'll second.
Second, thank you, DJ.
No problem.
Supervisor,
No problem, Joey.
I didn't mean to get informal there. Supervisor Sando, thank you. Any comments or questions from the board members? Okay, hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. Citizens to be heard. Mr. Chris, is there anyone waiting to be heard?
Dave, you're muted.
Thank you for that. Just give me one moment here. We have one email that was received from Mr. John Cobb wanting to know if the board would care to introduce the new supervisor, Mrs. Winder, to the residents during citizen comments.
Supervisor Winder, would you like to introduce yourself and tell everybody at this meeting who you are, a little bit of your background, and what do you hope to do being on the board?
Yeah, thank you. So I've been a lifelong resident of East Narton Township. So I moved to East Narton when I was 5 years old from Philadelphia with my mother and father. So we grew up on Hayes Road, was educated in Norristown area public schools, went to the Pennsylvania State University. So I'm a proud Nittany Lion for my bachelor's degree, and I have an MBA from Eastern University. I've spent the past 20 years working both in higher education and K through 12 in my professional life. So I've led national workforce development teams, both in the US and internationally. And so I have a passion for both secondary and post-secondary education, which is why I was an elected school director for the past 3 years on the Norristown Area School Board. And what I think I'll bring to the board is certainly I have a love for East Narton Township. And so I want to play a role in making our community the ideal place to live. And so I can speak from the heart, and this is home for me. I also have a passion to make sure that our public schools continue to thrive, especially in these challenging times. I think the partnership between the district and the township is quite important. And another area that I'm passionate about, and I spoke of last month, was just supporting diversity, equity, and inclusion in a township. I was one of the first African-American families on my block on Hayes Road. And we know, especially these times, representation in our communities really matter. And so I hope that I can bring a unique perspective so that we can ensure that our township is inclusive for all. So those are some things. I certainly hope to bring other things to the table as I learn more about the role and how I can support, but I'm always happy to answer any questions about my background. Hope that was helpful.
Thank you, Supervisor Winder. Very well said. Great question, Mr. Gold. And also, I think I speak for everybody on the board when I say welcome. We're so happy that you're here.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other citizens to be heard, Mr. Kurtz?
There are not.
Right. I'd like to call a motion to adjourn the meeting. And do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. You're adjourned.
And Madam Chair, if we could just, for people who are listening, we will be going in immediately to our regular meeting. So stay tuned for just a few minutes and we will be starting our regular business meeting for the month of January.
Thanks, Mr. Hart.
Mhm.